everyone. So we are going to see about a simple linear regression model. My use case is that they are given me a use case for like recruitment channel for business analytics for HR. I took a data set, employee data set. So we are going to predict employee's length of service, how much services he, how much years of services he had done. So first necessary thing is that we have to import the necessary libraries that are packages we are going to use for this model building. So I imported pandas, numpy, and I imported linear model that is linear regression model and matrices to evaluate the model output results and a matplot for simple plotting. And the next thing going to do is loading the data set, which is an most important thing, like what data I'm going to use. I'm going to load the data here. So I loaded the data using in Panda, like re underscore CV, using that function, and I pass the data set in a CSV format. And I printed the data set. These are the columns in the data set. When you can drop any columns and you can use any columns according to your model. The most important thing is data pre-processing in any model building. Like if you have to handle any missing values or if you have to encode any column, this is the most important thing is uh, model building. First time I took us some numerical columns only. By selecting the numerical columns, I will fill in null values inside the numerical columns using median function. So I'll take that column, I'll find the median of the column and replace the null values with the median of the column. Next, I'm going to get the dummy values from these columns like department, region, education, gender, and recruitment channel. I'm going to drop the dummy values. And I'm going to drop the column employee ID, which is not necessary for my model building. So I'm going to print the information about the data after I done all reprocessing. And the main thing is that I have to split the data as train and test. So for that, I have to split the data as input and output variable. That is input variable as X and output variable as Y. Now I took my output variable as length of service, which is I going to predict number of services years the employee has. Now I access that columns that accept length of service are considered as my input variable. Next, I'm going to train to split the data. Inside that, I'm going to pass my X variable, Y variable, input, output, and test size 20%. That is like how much amount of data you're going to take from our data set and going to train our model. And next is that random state. Random state is defined like how much time you train the data, your values are not going to change. So I'm going to give her as 42, or you can give her to 0 also. And 42 is the um, thing you can give, which will be better. And next is main thing is fitting the model. For that, I have to initialize the model using any variable. I have initialized model is called a linear regression, where I'm using linear regression model. So I initialized the linear regression model. Then I'm going to fit the inside the model my X train and Y train. These are the train data inside the model. And I'm going to print the model's coefficient intercept. When we come to linear regression, you know the equation that is y is equals to mx plus c. M is the coefficient and x is c is the intercept. Sorry, c is the intercept. So this is not necessary for printing. For my convenience to know, I have printed these values. So why we building this model? To make predictions, right? So we are predicted using our X test. So mainly we test using predict using our X test. When that we have splitted, right, using that X test. So we have predicted like 1 year, 6 year, 5 year, 2 year. Which may be in points because we are not making the accurate prediction. We are making a prediction close to the year. Okay. Next is that evaluating a model. There are many matrices like mean, absolute error, mean, square error, um, root mean, square error, like that for regression. For classification also we have many matrices like F1 score, accuracy, precision, recall. So for regression we have used here as mean, absolute error and mean, square error using y test and y predict. Y test is the test data I'm going to pass her, and I predicts that the I'm predicted like before the data I'm going to pass her. Y predict is that what I'm defining like uh, I have made a prediction, right? That data I'm going to pass her, and y test is that the data I split it like when I done this test and brain split. That next is visualizing the results. I used a normal scatter plot. I passed the y test data and y predict data, and I made a simple plotting using this data. And thank you for watching.